Hey everybody, Bruce Jones here, and welcome to a Tuesday morning here in fall, November. Hope everybody's going to have a good and safe Thanksgiving. And it's getting cold here in New England. So I just thought I'd do it, just keep everybody up to speed on where I am with this book project. It clearly got a little beyond me in terms of creating it. And I want to thank everybody who has sort of jumped in, and you can do that. I'll have that link will be somewhere around here. It's still in the pre-sale, but it's coming along. I've done, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. All the basic writing is done. So actually, let me make this a little bit bigger. And let's see, hide this. And there. So everything has been written. Basically, all the writing is done, organizing everything, sort of putting everything together. And this is my first book that I ever did. Put that in here. So it's broken down. So this has taken a while to do, and making some of the graphics as I went along. So basically, it'll cover, that's the money part there, and then about me a little bit, and then some prep stuff before you start publishing. These are just some of the things that I think about when I sort of prepare for a new book or getting a book out, or I've just sort of built as an ongoing thing. So I'll talk about building your author platform. It's going to be a cool book. I'm really liking it. Somebody asked the question about, let me just make sure everything is up here, about how was this book different than my other book, the Self-Publishing Secrets book. And this book is just the selling. This is just how I have done the selling of my book, what I did to market them and sell them. And so it's just focused just on that, which is one of the more common questions I get. So just sort of go through that stuff, sort of how I do my author blogs. I've talked about a lot of stuff. This is going more than I thought. Then using my book's content. This is my main theory that I use all the time. I highlight things in red that need to be worked on. Where I use the content from my book and spread them around the web. And I talk a lot about in this book about how I do that. What's the process I do that, and how do I get Google to find all of my stuff and then bring people to purchase the book. So I'm excited about that. This is stuff I've been talking about for a long time, and now it's finally all being pulled together. And then we come down, there's some examples. This is the power of doing this. You'll see images from some of my books showing up in Google search, and it has worked really well. And how I code in my illustrations, how I do that. So I talk a little bit about that. How I always make sure a lot of the illustrations go out and have my web address on them so people can find them. So that's kind of fun. And then I talk, let's see, that just goes on a little bit. And I also do a lot of stuff using analytics. I pay a lot of attention, and I talk about how I do this and why I do this to sort of figure out what parts of my content in my books people are looking at. So we talk about that stuff. And then it's about making noise. I just attended a fantastic 3-day event. That's what sort of got things a little sidetracked, because I did a 3-day event with this guy, Steve Larson, and it's all about making noise and about how to sort of get your books noticed, how to build that sort of, he calls it pressure on your books, so that when it comes time to launch your book, people already know about it. That's kind of what I'm doing here. This is sort of letting people know about a project that I have coming up, and that's what he talks about. So it was a really fascinating, in fact, I have right here, it was quite I took 69 pages of notes in this 3-day online Zoom conference thing, summit, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what we call these things now, but it's about that. So bringing some of that knowledge into this project. So that's just, I got to go through that, how to sort of create noise and awareness of your book. And then once you have some of that out there, then what I do on, let's see, zoom down here, on spreading that awareness, spread it around, like get people to know that your stuff is here, make the paths clear. So if they discover your content, your books, your stuff, your story, they can find a way to get back to buy your book. And this, I'll be talking about this. This is sort of my wagon. I call this the wagon wheel. It's just how I sort of line things up to point to my books, sort of point to Amazon. And much of this is free. I try to do as much free stuff, keep those costs down, and then make your book easy to buy. This is one of the things I see a lot, and people doing book marketing their books is that you can't find the books. They will post them, but not put the link in. So one of the things I want to do is do a little training, some video training, some live training on how to make a post in Facebook, in Pinterest, in Twitter, all these different places, so that people can get to purchase your book. So that's the fourth section of the book. And then the last section is these are lessons. I put in the lessons I've learned. So that's sort of there. And then repurposing your content. The books, if I look at, that have been the most successful were actually the second version or a repurposed version of some content from the book. So you create your book, whatever it is, I'm making a book, but the real sales of that book, the thing that really sold was not that book. It was the next book that spun out of that. So either you took some part of it, or you repositioned it in a different way, you turned it into something else. The part of the process of publishing is getting your content out there. Once you sort of cross that border, you hit the publish button, awareness comes on what else you can do with your content. And any of you who joined in on the Workbook Masterclass, that's what that was all about, how to find the hidden gold in your books. And that's what I do. So most of most successful books that I have had have been that result of doing that. So I try to encourage everybody to look at that as your book isn't just sort of created, published, and done, and you don't come back to it. You can do other things with it. So, and here's just pictures of out of this one book right here. This one book, Central Course, all of these different products appeared out of that one book. So that's something that you can do. So, so that's that. So I did that. So that writing is basically done. So let's move that out of the way. And now what I'm doing, let's get that over here, is I'm now moving that copy from the book. And anybody who's joining here, you can ask any questions too. This is just sort of a recap of where I'm at, status of where I'm at. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking that copy and let's go to InDesign. So I'll just show you now it's moving over. And let's see here, we'll do this and go to here, share this. So this is my InDesign file. And now I'm, whoops, let's get back so I can see it. So I'm taking all the copy and moving it over, so InDesign. So now I'm doing the formatting of the book, but also this stage for me is, I've already written this book a number of times and put it all together. And now by putting it into a different format, you see things that you didn't see before. So one of those things that I have discovered is this question right here. Let me just zoom in on it. I have some version of this question. See how that looks. Can you read it? I think so. So I've just received my link to Amazon for my book. It's live. I'm extremely nervous. Proof is on the way. I'm looking for advice to market. This is my first time ever. Suggestions welcome. So I get this question or some version of this question. Let's bring this back down so it's reasonable. There we go. This is a common question that I get asked or shows up in the group. And basically people have published their book, put it on Amazon, and then it's just things die. Like, what do I do now? What's the next step? So I realized I needed to add a section to my book of just some basic stuff. So I'm going to call that just a moment basic book marketing, just the basic steps that you need to get going, what to do. And you probably don't have money to do it. Most of the people that I know just don't want to spend a lot of money doing this, not doing a big launch. But there are a lot of key things that you can do to kind of get your book going. And some of them are before you publish, and then there's publishing, and then there's after publishing. But Amazon doesn't publish your book. You have to do they publish it, they don't do the marketing. So you need to get your book out there, and get it going, doing things with it. And so I'm just trying to give some basic initial steps. So that's a section I'm working on today. That'll go right in after this, probably right here. I have a little section on how to use this book, and that'll go in this area and go for a couple pages, and then I get back into the book. So now I've taken all the text from the Word file, I've dumped it into my InDesign file, and I will just now go through this and make the graphics. I don't have add in graphics, format all of this, make chapter titles, chapter heads, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just basically creating the book and make it pretty and do stuff, and then also figure out what else I'm going to do for the package, because this is part of a product where there'll be a book plus some videos to go along of training of different areas of things that people like. So and then so let me just show you a couple of the graphics here. They're just behind the scenes stuff. And let's just go to entire screen. I think I'll just do that. And let's see. Oops, share that. Get better at moving around quickly on this. So let me move this out of the way. And this is my InDesign file. So do that. So this is just a folder with all my graphics. You can see it here. I have everything collected in one spot. And what I've been doing, you can see different graphics, is I will screen capture a graphic or create one. So you'll see doubles of things in here. So all my graphics now are 300 dots per inch. So if you're publishing a book on Kindle ebook or in paperback, all of the graphics now have to be 300 dots per inch. And so I make one graphic, 300 dots per inch. I'm using it in both formats. This will eventually become an ebook also. So I try to make one graphic. Now I'll probably shrink them a little bit to make the file a little smaller for the ebook, but I make one sort of master folder that has the original graphic that I created and then the 300 dots per inch graphic. So so you can see here all just different graphics that are in here. Like here's going to be the one for the Kindle page, and all my different book samples. These are just graphics that go in the book. There's my big graphic on all the products that I made. So I'm just assembling everything. I try to keep everything. Here's my book blog. So there I'm just doing that. That'll go in and gives me an opportunity to pull all that together. So so that's where we are with that. So that's the process. And then, so this will all go, if you're interested in getting in on the early version of this, which is still, I think, $7 at the point. It'll start to go up as I start to add more stuff and I get closer. It's coming along. And let's just see here. Let me go to screen share. Again, screen application. And let's see. Where is my Oh, here it is. So this is, here it is here. And then all of this is now being assembled on Gumroad, which is what I use for my product. So it's right here. And let's get that here. So I'm kind of jumping around, but this is all behind the scenes. This is just what I'm working on to try to get everything going. And this is the sales page if you want to come in at the moment, and the link is above or below or left or right or somewhere around here. And this, you will then be into the program, and then whatever gets added to that, you automatically get that, and you'll get there before I start raising the cost on it. So this is, the moment I'm using it is just sort of the place I'm putting what I'm doing and where I'm going. This video right now will replace here, and so all that kind of stuff. So that's it. That's where today is. That's where I am at on this project. And let's see here. Let's go to there. So I hope you can join on that, and I'll keep doing more broadcasts on behind the scenes. But it's a lot of work to create these books, and I didn't realize quite how much it was going to be. But I'm pleased with where it's coming and pulling together all the information from all the different years I'd had on selling books and sort of passing it out to let you know how to do it, and you can do it on your book. So anyways, hope that works. Pick it up. Remember, the links are up below or somewhere, and you can pick that up. And hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And shortly, I'll probably be starting to do a little bit of pre-training on stuff because I'm excited. I wrote them all down here on this paper, different notes for things I'm going to want to teach, and go from there. All right. Have a great Thanksgiving. I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.